You mentioned that you have an 11-month-old little girl who loves yogurt and pureed baby food, but she doesn't like applesauce, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes. And this kind of thing can be normal. My kids kind of went through a phase where they didn't like mashed potatoes. They gagged when I put it in their mouth. And this can be a normal response. But if, generally speaking, your child by the age of 1 isn't really eating finger food and isn't eating more textured foods, this is a good reason to talk to the pediatrician, and they can decide whether or not it warrants further investigation. Sometimes there are medical conditions that cause a child to have issues when it comes to eating, like they can't physically swallow it or those sorts of things. But while you're introducing new textures, take something that she likes and maybe just make it a little bit thicker, maybe a little more chunky. Like say that you make her squash for lunch and you've steamed it and you're mashing it. Maybe just don't mash it so much and add a little more texture to it and see if she can handle that. And then slowly increase it to the point where she's eating table food like you and I, but it's just in smaller bite-sized forms that won't pose a choking risk. Sometimes it comes down to the fact that kids are just flat out picky, and many pediatricians have told parents that sometimes it takes 12 or more introductions before a child will actually eat something, and so just keep reintroducing it. But there's a fine line there too. If mealtime is becoming frustrating, then it's okay to back off a little bit, because the last thing you want to do is make your child associate mealtime with frustration, because that can cause issues down the road when it comes to eating. Sometimes children that have had issues with textures can benefit from being introduced to new textures while playing. So introducing your daughter to feathers or bumpy balls or other textured toys, that can translate into more success when it comes to mealtime and introducing different textures. So those are a few things you can try in the meantime. If she's still not taking to it, then again, it would be a good idea to talk with your pediatrician. But if you have any other questions for me in the future, feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.